Podcast Show. What's up, everybody? Shuma, what's up? If you don't know what this is an IG Live interview series where I interview celebrities, local up-and-comers, out-of-state up-and-comers, pretty much anybody that got something going on. I just want to talk to them. So we smoking J, talk shit, get to know them a bit, make them some new fans, you know what I'm saying? All that there and that way. Okay. Sorry for the messy bed. But yeah, so that's what we do here. Smoking J, talk some shit. And today we have a special guest. I'm sorry. Allergies out of nowhere. But today we have a special guest. We have a good friend of mine. I buy all of my clothes from him. I'm actually wearing some of his products right now. He made the hat, he made the shirt for me, custom made. But he's not just a fashion designer. He is a brand all in all, and we're going to find out more about that brand today. His name is JoeeSpacey. Now, Joey, I'm about to lock you up.
I'm here. What up, Jay?
What up?
How you doing, man? Good to see you, yo.
Good to see you, too. Comfortable.
Rockets for Spacey.
Ooh. Man, I don't know what is going on, but I think my allergies are messing with me. That's why I'm about to light this up. Yes, sir. And of course, I had to rock the gear that you made for me, man.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for all the gear that you make for me. Whenever I call this man and I say I need some one-on-one, he say I got this. That I would send you the money. He makes it for me, gets it to me right on time every time. So I want to say thank you for one, providing dope ass customer service and making dope ass products every single time.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate the connection and your willingness to even show love.
So for those that don't know you, tell the people who you are.
All right, so my name is KJ. I'm from PG County, Maryland. I'm 25, and I got into doing clothes by way of for real my pops. So my OG was how I learned how to do everything I do on the clothing side. So my pops, ever since I've been young, he been getting it out the trunk. You know what I'm saying? Showing people how to start his own thing, and hopefully I'm just trying to next level that as I get older. So graphics was internship by way of internships. Different internships I had introduced me to different projects to work on graphics and creative promo for other brands, and all the game that I learned by way of working for other people, I just incorporated that into my own thing.
Okay. So I'm from PG County myself, from Capitol Heights.
Okay.
So growing up in that area, a lot of people don't realize it's a lot more dangerous than what people understand. They it's not Southeast DC or it's not Northwest DC, that it's not a dangerous place to grow up, and a lot of people don't make it to the ages that we made. So with that being said, how did growing up in PG County, in the areas that you grew up in, how did that influence your creative style now today?
So I like to do clothing and within concepts. So I like to, be outside, and I'm very friendly, and I'm a people person. But at the same time, I feel within my age group, or just for our people in general, we need to, make more clothing that reflects love, peace, and just bringing people together. Or just naturally, just me bleeding into my personality, bleeding into the brand, just showing people, hey, you don't gotta push something negative for people to get behind it. You don't gotta put out a product that's necessarily malicious or has a negative message behind it. You could trap your brand a positive way. You could connect with people on a positive level. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so that's just me trying to naturally put that love and good nature out there.
Okay. I dig that. There's a question I've been wanting to ask you, because you brought this up in Adams, and a lot of people don't really know, but you are big on the West Coast.
Thank you.
How does that happen, man? Because I have a lot of West Coast moves. You got a lot of love, a lot of boys in the West Coast. How did that happen?
That actually happened by way of my girlfriend. That's my creative partner on a lot of projects, like more than half. My girlfriend, Mia B. Adams, she has her own brand. She's a small business owner also, called Spicy Cocoa, that's the one where we work on our graphics and our releases together. And her own brand is the hello.mia.shop. But we bumped into each other naturally by way of me working at an art gallery, and I met her at the first initial show that I was working for the gallery. And we just established a base. Like, I'm the type of person, once we tap in and we could have some kind of way to, like, benefit each other, and we can be conducive to business, let's tap in and just go all the way up with it. You know what I mean? Much like you and myself.
So, like, what did you do in the art gallery?
I'm sorry, say it again?
You said you worked in the art gallery. What did you do in the art gallery?
I was basically like, I was just like, just a part of the staff at the art gallery, like whatever they needed. Like if it was like straightening up before a show, if it was doing paperwork or filing for like the artist information, if it may have been like, enabling for the artist to be comfortable while they were setting up or getting ready for the show, maybe running the socials and, posting, doing the interactions and posting for the social media for the gallery. So it's just pretty much like me filling in where they needed me to be active at, So, and the gallery was Touchstone Gallery over there in Chinatown Gallery Place.
Really?
Yeah.
So art's really been a part of your life.
Yeah.
When did you first realize you wanted to be an artist?
Probably like, I was playing ball in junior college at like Montgomery College, and I was trying to figure out like something to like express myself at like around 18, 19. So I became an art major. I just became enamored with like the whole vibe. Like it was very chill, very laid back. The art students like handled their business and stayed out the way. And like art was just like, you can't tell me this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like it's subjective. It's whatever you get out of this, you can't tell me it's wrong. This is like solely based off of how you perceive it. So that was what was attractive basically about like being an artist or a creative.
Okay, so who would you say, because we've had this conversation at the end as well, but who would you say publicly is, shout out Silverline Productions and K, but who would you say is your, like, probably top 3 inspirations fashion-wise when it comes to designing clothes and the style of clothes that you design? Because your style is very minimalist, but you do so well. And a lot of people don't understand the minimalist style. They think got flash everywhere, color everywhere, big words, big letters, but you get your point across with just the brand.
Thank you. Well, before the influence, I'm naturally just like, I'm comfortable with myself and what I like. So I'd say like the West Coast thing had always been put on me for like my whole life. Like people always be like, oh man, you from here, you remind me of a West Coast dude, or you would love it on the West Coast. So that influence always, and I guess that's because like I love West Coast music growing up. Like before Wiz, Snoop was like my favorite rapper. Yeah. So I'm a huge Pac fan, but as far as locally, I don't really pay attention too much to the brand, but I love what Eat does. Like I love like his personality and like how he's like community based, and that as a whole is what I'm trying to do and what I'm doing. Just like tap in more of my community and just like do something positive by way of connecting with other people. Bobby Hundreds of the Hundreds is also another one of my inspirations because he's a minority, but he also, he prints and does designing for other brands. I do the same. Spicy Cocoa and I create logos and graphics for other people. And I would just say, really, that's the only brand that I would and I guess you would say Bape, because I grew up, liking Bape. I grew up during that Wayne Pharrell era. So it was like,
a lot of people don't even know that.
I'm telling you, bro, Bape, ice cream, and, a lot of that is just how I base my ideas off of what I like naturally and based off of, like, time period pieces that I enjoy. And the minimalist thing is just natural to me. Like, it's just sometimes you don't got to do too much. But I'm also learning and applying. I'm also, you know what I'm saying, learning and applying along the way. So it's like when I do get to a point where I'm putting out more, pieces with a little bit more thought to it, or it's a little bit more complex, then it's like, okay, there's a spectrum here. There's simple, and then there's a little bit more into it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Now you don't. Hey, let's get that out now, because I don't want people just thinking you're just a fashion designer. He does a lot of stuff for children and for their. So you definitely, I definitely want to touch on that, because you make not what they were called, the book, not the book.
Yeah, the book market. Yeah.
Oh my God. But it's the weed.
You're good. I can pick up where you left off, big homie. So at the top of the sorry, were you done?
I was gonna ask, what got you into making like school children, because that's a very different. Like you genuinely like because he hit me. I got school supplies, socks. I got things for the kids. Like what made you really want to focus on the children as well? Because you speak a lot about positivity, and I feel like that ties into it as well.
Yeah. So, I kind of just like I'm a Libra, so I naturally just kind of like, I see things a little bit different. Like, I'm probably like that like walking unpopular opinion, or just like, I think outside the box naturally, and very unconventional. So, I always try to think, how can I get my point across to everyone across the spectrum equally? So, I tap in and say, all right, so when COVID hit, I was like, man, how can we like do something to like stay in the game right now? Like, how can we figure it out? And across the board, from old to young, I was like, everybody pretty much likes to color. Everybody likes to like, make something. So we put out coloring books. We repurposed a bunch of images that we made throughout the year, Spicy Coco and I, and we repurposed them all, and we inverted them, and we worked at it until we got it right, from cover to like each page. And then we pushed that out, and luckily they sold out fairly soon. And I'm an avid reader. Reading is huge to me, bro. Like, learning, enabling information for yourself. It's just big for me. It's just like, I wanted to enable a positive message with a cool image for people to get back into reading and be excited for it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Just want to tell you, just now, I quietly yelled at because she's a coloring book fanatic. They both are. But
nice.
Book fanatic.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm me one of them. Definitely.
I got you. No problem. I got you. We locked in.
No question, man. So when it comes down to the creative process or whatever you're making, I want to ask, what do you listen to music while you're doing it?
Oh, for sure, bro. I get into everything, man. Like, I'll while I'm scrolling, while I'm writing, like scrolling on IG or social media, while I'm like, writing out concepts or ideas, while my girlfriend and I are talking about something, or whether it's my dad helping me with like finalizing a design, bro. I'll listen to music, like records, loud music on my TV. I'll go outside and like, you know what I'm saying, like work out. Whatever gotta happen. I'll read a new book. Like I was in the comics heavy for like half of the year, like half of like the last part of the year, fourth quarter of 2019. I was just like listen to like business owners, like specifically like a Bobby Hundreds talk about how he runs a small business and how he's been able to stay afloat from beginning to now. And just always try to think, what would I like to put out? What would people take to? And once that works out, how can I next level that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I asked a very, very dope question. I wanted to get your answer because I don't have a favorite book right now. I have a favorite book of all time, and that's The Sword of Art. I read it front to back 3 times. It's about 1,000 and some change pages. Great. All time, in my opinion. Better than Lord of the Rings.
Nice. That's admirable. I can respect that, yo.
So what is your favorite book right now?
I'll give you a couple. I don't really have one for right now. Right now, I'm reading a book called like My Face is Black, It's True, and it's about the push that ex-slaves were enabling for reparations. And that's something big right now. It's getting me hip to a lot of history the right way, as opposed to it being like whitewashed or presented a certain way in the school system. But The Alchemist and the Four Agreements, just off the strength that like